Gutman, we have
William Schumann.
playing the role of Kilroy.
Brandon Martin. Cheers.
Playing Casanova.
Larry Gutman.
Playing Marguerite.
Rochelle White.
Playing the Gypsy.
Amy Alosi.
Playing Esmeralda.
Rachel Sheffrin.
Playing a rat.
Who else?
Playing Baron de Charles.
Ted Thompson.
Playing Lord Byron and Don Quixote.
Marty Goldberg.
Yeah.
Playing Rosita.
Doris Martyr.
Playing Lady Mulligan.
Liz.
And playing Lord Mulligan.
David Shakopee.
Prologue. As the curtain rises, an almost lightless stage, there is a loud singing of a wind, accompanied by distant measured reverberations like pounding surf or distant shell fire. Above the ancient wall that backs the set and the perimeter of mountains visible above the wall are flickers of a white radiance, as though daybreak were a white bird caught in a net and struggling to rise. The plaza is seen fitfully by this light. It belongs to a tropical seaport that bears a confusing but somehow harmonious resemblance to such widely scattered ports as Tangiers, Havana, Veracruz, Casablanca, Shanghai, New Orleans. On stage is the luxury side of the street, containing the facade of the Siest Marv Hotel and its low terrace, on which are a number of glass-topped white iron tables and chairs. In the downstage, there is a great bay window in which are seen a pair of elegant dummies, one seated, one standing behind, looking out into the plaza with painted smiles. Upstairs is a small balcony, and beyond it, a large window exposing a wall on which is a large phoenix painted on silk. This should be softly lighted now and then in the place, since resurrections are much part of the meaning. Opposite the hotel is Skid Row, which contains the Gypsy's Gouty stall, the Lone Shark's establishment with a window containing a variety of pawned articles, and the Ritz Men Only, which is a Fleabag hotel or flop house, and which has a practical window above its downstairs entrance, in which a bum will appear from time to time to deliver appropriate or contrapuntal song titles. Upstage is a great flight of stairs that mount the ancient wall to a sort of archway that leads out into terra incognita, as it is called in the play, a wasteland between the walled town and the distant perimeter of snow-topped mountains. Downstage, right and left, are a pair of arches which give entrance to dead-end streets. Immediately after the curtain rises, a shaft of blue light is thrown down a central aisle of the theater. And this is the light, advancing from the back of the house, appears Don Quixote de la Mancha, dressed like an old desert rat. As he enters the aisle, he shouts, "Hola!" in a cracked old voice,
Hola.
which is still full of energy, and is answered by another voice, which is impatient and tired, that of his squire, Sancho Panza. Stumbling with a fatigue which is only physical, the old knight comes down the aisle and Sancho follows a couple of yards behind him, loaded down with equipment that ranges from medieval shields to a military canteen or thermos bottle. Shots are exchanged between them.
Blue is the color of distance.
Bernie.
That's me?
I don't know.
Who's Sancho?
Who's
You, Sancho.
Sancho Panza.
Should I do both?
Oh,
No,
there is.
Bernie. Bernie would be great.
Bernie, do it.
okay? Yes, distance is blue.
Blue is also the color of nobility.
Yes, nobility's blue.
Blue is the color of distance and nobility, and that's why an old knight should always have somewhere about him a bit of blue ribbon.
Yes, a bit of blue ribbon.
A bit of faded blue ribbon tucked away in what ever remains of his armor, or borne on the tip of his lance, his unconquerable lance. It serves to remind an old knight of distance that he has gone and distance he has yet to go.
Sancho mutters the Spanish word for excrement as several pieces of rusty armor fall into the aisle. Quixote has now arrived at the foot of the steps onto the foot stage. He pauses there as if wandering out or into a dream. Sancho draws up, clanking behind him. Mr. Gutman, a lordly fat man, wearing a linen suit and pith helmet, appears dimly in the balcony of the Siete Mars, a white cockatoo on his wrist. The bird cries out harshly.
Hush,
Yeah.
Aurora.
It also reminds an old knight of that green country he lived in, which was the youth of his heart before such singing words as truth,
Truth.
valor,
Valor.
devoir,
Devoir.
turned into the meaningless mumble of some old monk hunched over cold mutton at supper.
Gutman alerts a pair of guards in the plaza who cross with red lanterns to either side of the proscenium, where they lower the black and white striped barrier gates as if the proscenium marked a frontier. One of them, with a hand on a holster, advanced towards the pair on the steps. Bien, aquí. Sancho hangs back, but Quixote stalks up the barrier gate. The guard turns a flashlight on his long, exceedingly grave red face, frisks him casually for concealed weapons, examines a rusty old knife, and tosses it contemptuously away. Su papeles, su documentos.
Who is it?
Quixote fumblingly produces some tattered old papers from the lining of his hat.
Who is it?
An old desert rat named Quixote.
Oh, expected. Let him in.
The guards raise the barrier gate. Sancho hangs back. A dispute takes place in the fourth stage and steps into the aisle.
Forward.
Oh, no, I know this place. Here it is on the chart. Look, it says here, continue until you come to the square of a walled town, which is the real end of the Camino Real, and then beginning of the Camino Real. Halt here, it says, and turn back, traveler, for the spring of humanity has gone dry in this place.
And there are no birds in the country except wild birds that are tamed and kept in cages.
Let's go back to La Mancha.
Forward.
The time has come for retreat.
The time for retreat never comes.
I'm going back to La Mancha.
Without me.
With or without you, old tireless and tiresome master.
Sancho!
I'm going back to La Mancha.
Lonely. When so many are lonely as seem to be lonely, it would be inexcusably selfish to be lonely alone.
Sleep.
Yes, I'll sleep for a while, and I'll dream for a while. I'll sleep and then dream for a while against the wall of this town, and my dream will be a pageant, a mask in which old meanings will be remembered and possibly new ones discovered. And when I awake from this sleep and this disturbing pageant of a dream, I'll choose one among its shadows to take along with me in the place of Sancho. For new companions are not as familiar as old ones, but all the same, they're old ones with only slight differences of face and figure, which may or may not be improvements. And it would be selfish of me to be lonely alone.
Hush, Aurora.
And tomorrow at the same hour, which we call Madrugada, the loveliest of all words, except the word alba, and that word also means daybreak. Yes, at daybreak tomorrow, I will go on from here with a new companion, and this old bit of blue ribbon to keep me in mind of distance that I have gone and the distance I have yet to go, and also to keep me in mind of...
Be still, Aurora. I know it's morning, Aurora.
Daylight turns the plaza silver and slowly gold. Vendors rise beneath white awnings of stalls. The gypsy's stall opens. A tall, portly figure in his late middle years crosses from the Siete Mars to the loan shark's removing a silver snuff box from his pocket as Gutman speaks. His costume, like that of all the legendary characters in the play, except perhaps Quixote, is generally modern, but with vestigial touches of the period to which he was actually related. The cane and snuff box, or perhaps a brocade vest, may be sufficient to give this historical suggestion in Casanova's case. He bears his hawk-like head with a sort of anxious pride on most occasions, a pride maintained under a steadily mounting pressure.
It's morning, and after morning, it's afternoon. And now I must go downstairs to announce the beginning of that old wanderer's dream.
Treek.
Well, I'd rather give it to a street beggar. This case is a butcheron. I won it at Faro at the Summer Palace at Startsko Silo in the winter of...
Lone Shock stands at the door. Jacques glares and shrugs and stares across the plaza. Treek, oh Treek.
It's a terrible thing for an old woman to outlive her dogs. Madame, that is not Treek.
Is there not a Prudence? I don't see a Prudence. Sorry, guys. When I woke up, she wasn't in her basket.
Sometimes we sleep too long in the afternoon, and when we wake, we find things change, Signora.
Oh, you're Italian.
I am from Venice, Signora.
Ah, Venice, city of pearls. I saw you last night on the terrace dining with... Oh, I'm so worried about her. I'm an old friend of hers. Perhaps she was mentioned to me, you, Prudence Duvernoy. I was her best friend in the old days in Paris, but now she's forgotten so much. I hope you have influence with her. I want you to give her a message from a certain wealthy old gentleman that she met at one of those watering places she used to go for her health. She resembled his daughter who died of consumption, and he so adored Camille, lavished her everything on her. What did she do? Took a young lover who had a couple of pennies to rub together, disinherited by his father because of her. Oh, you can't do that. Not now. Not anymore. You got to be realistic on the Camino Real.
Block 1 on the Camino Real.
Block 1. Yes, you've got to be practical on it. Well, give her this message, please, sir. He wants her back by any terms whatsoever. Her evenings will be free. He wants her only mornings. Mornings are hard for an old man because their hearts beat slowly, and he wants only her mornings. Well, that's how it should be. A sensible arrangement. Elderly gentlemen have to content themselves with the lady's spare time before supper. Isn't that slow? Of course so. And so I told him, Camille isn't well. She requires delicate care, has many debts, plenty to storm her door. How much does she owe, he asked me. And oh, did I do some lightning mathematics? Jewels in pawn, I told him. Pearls, rings, necklaces, bracelets, Simon eardrops are in pawn. Horses put up for sale at public auction.
Signora, all of these things are
What?
dreams.
You're not so young as I thought when I saw you last night on the entrance, on the terrace by candlelight on the, oh, but, ho, I bet there is one old fountain in this plaza that hasn't gone dry. Wait, listen, her candle is burning low, but how can you tell? She might have a lingering end and charity hospitals. Why, you might as well take a flying leap into the streetcar's barrel. Oh, I've told her not to live in a dream. A dream is nothing to live in. Why, it's gone like don't let, anybody want to take this? Anybody?
Don't let her elegance fool you. The girl has done the Camino in carriages, but she has also done it on foot. She knows every stone the Camino is paved with. So tell her this. You tell her she won't listen to me. Times and conditions have undergone certain changes since we were friends in Paris. And now we are now we dismiss young lovers and skins silk and eyes like a child's first prayer. We put them away as lightly as we put away white gloves meant only for summer, and pick a pair of black ones suitable for winter.
Excuse me, madam.
What block is this?
Block 1.
I didn't hear the announcement.
Well, now you do.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. I've looked for you high and low, mostly low.
Block 2 on the Camino Real.
Block 2. After Gutman's announcement, a hoarse cry is heard. A figure in rags, skin blackened by the sun, tumbles crazily down the steep alley to the plaza. He turns about blindly, murmuring, "Adonde la fuente?" He stumbles against the hideous old prostitute Rosita, who grins horribly and whispers something to him, hitching up her ragged, filthy skirt. Then she gives him a jocular push toward the fountain. He falls upon his belly and thrusts his hands into the dried-up basin. Then he staggers to his feet with a despairing cry. "La fuente está seca."
The fountain is dry, but there's plenty to drink in the Siete Mares.
"Go back."
You should read this.
The survivor stumbles forward. The officer fires him. He lowers his hands to his stomach, turns slowly about with a lost expression, looking up at the sky, and stumbles toward the fountain. During the scene that follows, until the entrance of La Madrecita and her son, the survivor drags himself slowly about the concrete rim of the fountain, almost entirely ignored. As a dying pariah dog in a starving country, Jacques Casanova comes out upon the terrace of the Siete Mares. Now he passes the hotel proprietor's impassive figure, descending a step beneath and a little in advance of him, and without looking at him.
What has happened?
We have entered the second in a progress of 16 blocks on the Camino Real. It is 5 o'clock. That angry old lion, the sun, looked back once and growled, and then went switching his tail toward the cool shade of the Sierras. Our guests have taken their afternoon siestas.
The survivor has come out upon the forestage now, not like a dying man, but like a shy speaker who has forgotten the opening of his speech. He is only a little crouched over with a hand obscuring the red stain of his belly. "Tacos, tacos, fritos, loteria, loteria." Rosita shuffles around, calling "love, love," pulling down the filthy décolletage of her blouse to show more of her sagging bosom. The survivor arrives at the top of the stairs, descending into the orchestra of the theater, and hangs into it, looking out reflectively as a man over the rail of a boat coming into a somewhat disturbingly strange harbor.
They suffer from extreme fatigue, our guests at the Siete Mares. All of them have a degree or two of fever. Questions are passed amongst them like something illicit and shameful, like counterfeit money or drugs or indecent postcards. What is this place? Where are we? What is the meaning of...
"I once had a pony named Pito. He caught in his nostrils the scent of thunderstorms coming even before the clouds had crossed the Sierra."
Tacos, tacos, fritos.
Love, love.
Are you sure no one called me? I was expecting a call.
My guests are confused and exhausted, but at this hour they pull themselves together and drift downstairs on the wings of gin and the lift. They drift into public rooms and exchange notes again on a fashionable couturiers and custom tailors, restaurants, vintages of wine, hairdressers, plastic surgeons, girls and young men susceptible to offers. Hear them. They're exchanging notes.
I asked you what has happened in the plaza.
What? In the plaza? Happenings in the plaza don't concern us.
I heard shots fired.
Shots were fired to remind you of your good fortune in staying here. The public fountains have gone dry, you know, but Siete Mares was erected over the only perpetual, never dried up spring in Tierra Caliente. And of course, that advantage has to be protected, sometimes by martial law.
When Pito, my pony, was born, he stood on his 4 legs at once and accepted the world. He was wiser than I. Fritos, tacos.
Love.
When Pito was 1 year old, he was wiser than God. Pito, Pito, the Indian boys called after him, trying to stop the wind.
Don't put your hand on me.
Say here.
Remain on the terrace, please, Senor Casanova.
Cognac.
The maitre d' tells me your credit has been discontinued in the restaurant and bar. He said that he has enough of your tabs to pave the terrace with.
What a piece of impertinence. I told the man that the letter that I'm expecting has been delayed in the mail. The postal service in this country is fantastically disorganized, and you know it. You also know that Mademoiselle Gautier will guarantee my tabs.
Well, then let her pick them up at dinner tonight, if you're hungry.
I'm not accustomed to this treatment on the Camino Real.
Oh, you will be. You will be after a single night at the Ritz Men Only. That's where you'll have to transfer your patronage if the letter containing your remittance check doesn't arrive tonight.
I assure you that I shall do nothing of the sort, tonight or ever.
Watch out, old hawk. The wind is ruffling your feathers. Give him a thimble of brandy before he collapses. Fury is the luxury of the young. Their veins are resilient, but his are brittle.
Here I sit submitting to an insult for a thimble of brandy, while directly in front of me...
The singer, La Madrecita, enters the plaza. She is a blind woman, led by a ragged young man. The waiter brings Jacques a brandy.
A man in the plaza dies like a pariah dog. I take the brandy, I sip it. My heart is too tired to break. My heart is too tired to break.
La Madrecita chants softly. She slowly raises her arm to point at the survivor crouched on the steps from the plaza.
Give me the phone. Connect me with the palace. Get me the Generalissimo. Quick, quick, quick.
The survivor rises feebly and shuffles very slowly toward the extended arms of the little blind one.
Gutman speaking. Hello, sweetheart. There's been a little incident in the plaza. You know that party of young explorers that attempted to cross the desert on foot? Well, one of them's come back. He was very thirsty. He found the fountain dry. He started toward the hotel. He was politely advised to advance no further, but he disregarded this advice. Action had to be taken. And now that old blind woman they call La Madrecita, she's come into the plaza with a man called the Dreamer.
Donde? Aquí.
You remember those two? I mentioned them once to you. You said they're harmless dreamers and they're loved by the people. What I asked you is harmless about a dreamer, and what I asked you is harmless about the love of the people. Revolution only needs good dreamers who remember their dreams, and the love of the people belongs safely only to you, their Generalissimo. Yes, now the blind woman has recovered her sight and is extending her arms to the wounded survivor, and the man with the guitar is leading him to her. Oh, wait a minute. There's a possibility that the forbidden word may be spoken. Yes, the forbidden word is about to be spoken.
Hermano!
The cry is repeated like springing fire, and a loud murmur sweeps the crowd. They push forward with cupped hands extended, and the gasping cries of starving people at the sight of bread. 2 military guards herd them back under the colonnades with clubs and drawn revolvers. La Madrecita chants softly with her blind eyes lifted. A guard starts toward her. The people shout, "No! Rojo está el sol. Rojo está el sol de sangre."
The word was spoken. The crowd is agitated. Hang on.
He said hermano. That's the word for brother.
Yes. Most dangerous word in any human tongue is the word for brother. It's inflammatory. I don't suppose it can be struck out of the language altogether, but it must be reserved for strictly private usage in back of soundproof walls. Otherwise, it disturbs the population.
People need the word. They're thirsty for it.
What are these creatures? Mendicants, prostitutes, thieves, and petty vendors in a bazaar where the human heart is part of the bargain?
Because they need the word, and the word is forbidden.
The word is said in pulpits and at tables of councils where its volatile essence can be contained. But on the lips of these creatures, what is it? A wanton incitement to riot without understanding. But what is a brother to them but someone to get ahead of, to cheat, to lie to undersell in the market? Brother, you say, to a man whose wife you sleep with. But now you see the word has disturbed the people, and it made it necessary to invoke martial law.
Meanwhile, the dreamer has brought the survivor to La Madrecita, who is seated on the cement rim of the fountain. She has cradled the dying man in her arms in the altitude of Pieta. The dreamer is crouched beside them, softly playing a guitar. Now he springs up with a harsh cry.
Muerto.
Generalissimo, the survivor is no longer surviving. I think we better have some public diversion right away. Put the gypsy on and have her announce the fiesta.
Gypsy?
There's somebody going to read the
Damas y caballeros. The next voice you hear will be the voice of the gypsy.
Hoy, noche de fiesta. Tonight the moon will restore the virginity of my daughter.
Bring on the gypsy's daughter, Esmeralda. Show the virgin to be. Oh, music. Abdullah, you're on.
How could there be so many missed parts? Really?
I conclude will restore the virginity of my sister, Esmeralda.
Dance, boy.
Esmeralda is led back to the stall, throwing off his burnous. Abdullah dances with Rosita. Behind their dance, armed guards force La Madrecita and the dreamer to retreat from the fountain, leaving the lifeless body of the survivor. All at once, there is discordant blast of brass instruments. Kilroy comes into the plaza. He's a young American vagrant, about 27. He wears dungarees and a skivvy shirt, the pants faded nearly white from long wear and much washing, fitting him as closely as the clothes of a sculpture. He has a pair of golden boxing gloves slung about his neck, and he carries a small duffel bag. His belt is ruby and emerald studded with the word champ in bold letters. He stops before a chalked inscription on a wall downstage which says, Kilroy is coming. He scratches out coming, and over it prints here.
Oh, a clown, the eternal Punchinella. That's exactly what's needed in a time of crisis. Block 3 on the Camino Real.
Block 3.
Ah! Buenos dias, senor. Habla Iglesias? Usted?
What is it you want?
Where is Western Union or Wells Fargo? I gotta say.
No I Western Union, no I Wells Fargo.
Well, that's very peculiar. Never struck a town yet that didn't have one or the other. I just got off a boat. Lousiest friggin' tub I ever shipped on. One continual hell it was. All the way up from Rio, and me sick, too. I picked it up, one of those tropical fevers. No sick bay on that tub. No doctor. No medicine or nothing. Not even one quinine pill. And I was burning up with Christ knows how much fever. I couldn't make them understand I was sick. I got a bad heart, too. Yeah. I had to retire from the prize ring because of my heart. I was the light heavyweight champion of the West Coast. Won these gloves before my ticker went bad. Feel my chest. Go on. Feel it. Feel it. See, I got a heart in my chest as big as a baby's head. They stood me in front of a screen that makes you transparent, and that's what they seen inside me. A heart in my chest as big as the head of a baby. Something like that. You don't need the gypsy to tell you time is short, baby. You're ready to hitch on wings. The medics wouldn't okay me for no more fights. They said to give up liquor and smoking and sex. To give up sex. You know, I used to believe a man couldn't live without sex, but he can if he wants to. my real true woman, my wife, she would have stuck with me, but it was all spoiled with her being scared and me too. That a real hard kiss would kill me. So one night while she was sleeping, I wrote her goodbye. No comprendo the lingo?
What is it you want?
Excuse my ignorance, but what place is this? What is this country, and what is the name of this town? I know it seems funny of me to ask such a question. I mean, loco. But I was so glad to get off the rotten tub that I didn't think ask nothing to no one except my pay, and I got shortchanged on that. Now I have trouble counting those pesos, or what's it you call them? All of this here in the States, that pile of lettuce would make you a plutocrat. But I bet this stuff don't add up to $50 American coin. Hey!
What is it you want?
What is the name of this country and this town?
The officer thrusts his elbow in Kilroy's stomach and twists his arm loose with a Spanish curse. He kicks the swinging doors open and enters the cantina.
Brass hats are the same everywhere.
Dulces, dulces, loteria, loteria, pasteles, café con leche.
No carry, no carry.
Love, love,
What did you say?
love.
Sorry, I don't feature that. I have ideals.
Stay there while I give the pitch. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're on the air.
Are you perplexed by something? Are you tired out and confused? Do you have a fever? Do you feel yourself to be spiritually unprepared for the age of exploding atoms? Do you distrust the newspapers? Are you suspicious of governments? Have you arrived at a point on the Camino Real where the walls converge not in the distance, but right in front of your nose? Does further progress appear impossible to you? Are you afraid of anything at all? Afraid of your heartbeat or the eyes of strangers? Afraid of breathing? Afraid of not breathing? Do you wish that things could be straight and simple again as they were in your childhood? Would you like to go back to kindergarten?
Hey, keep your hands off me, you dirty old bag. No carry putas, no loteria, no dulces, nadas. Get away. Vamoose, all of you. Quit picking at me. Robbed! My God, I've been robbed! What you got in my wallet? Which are you, dirty Ah! Hey, officer, oficial, general, tiende? One of them's got in my wallet. Picked it out of my pocket while that old whore was groping at me. Don't you comprendo?
Nobody robbed you. You don't have no pesos.
Huh?
You're just dreaming that you have no money. You don't ever have money. Nunca, nada. Loco.
Yeah, we'll see what the American SPS said of this. I'll go to the American consul. Whichever you rotten spivs lifted my wallet is going to jail. Calaboose. I hope I have made myself plain. If not, I will make myself plainer. Hey, this guy is dead.
There's the sound of the street cleaners piping. They trundle their white barrel into the plaza from one of the downstage arches. The appearance of these men undergo progressive alteration throughout the play. When they first appear, they are almost like any such public servants in a tropical country. Their white jackets are dirtier than the musicians, and some of the stains are red. They have on white caps with black visors. They are continually exchanging side jokes and giggling unpleasantly together. Lord Mulligan has come out upon the terrace, and as they pass him, they pause for a moment, point at him, and snicker. He is extremely discomfited by this impertinence, touches his chest as if he felt a palpitation, and turns back inside.
There is a dead man laying here. What is this place? What kind of hassle have I gotten myself into?
If anyone on the Camino is bewildered, come to the gypsy. A poco dinero will tickle the gypsy's palm and give her visions.
If you got a question, ask my mama, the gypsy.
Man, Whenever you see those 3 brass balls on the street, you don't have to look a long ways for a gypsy. Now let me think. I'm faced with 3 problems. 1, I'm hungry. 2, I'm lonely. 3, I'm in a place I don't know what it is or how I got there. First action that's indicated to is cash in on something. Well, let's see.
Honky-tonk music fades in at this point, and the Skid Row facade begins to light up the evening. There is a gypsy's stall with its Kabbalistic devices, its sectional cranium and palm, 3 luminous brass balls overbearing the entrance to a loan shark and his window filled with a vast assortment of hot articles for sale: trumpets, banjos, fur coats, tuxedos. There is also the advertisement of the Fleabag Hotel or Flophouse for rich men only. This sign is also pale neon or luminous paint. And on the entrance is the street floor. The rooms are above the loan shark and gypsy stall. One of the windows of this upper story is practical. Figures appear in it sometimes, leaning out as if suffocating or to hawk and to spit into the street below. This side of the street should have all of the color and animation that are permitted of the resources. There may be moments of dance-like action.
What have I got to cash in on? My golden gloves? Never. I'll say that once more. Never. Silver frame photo of my one true woman? Never. Repeat that. Never. What else have I got of a detachable and a negotiable nature? Oh! My ruby and emerald studded belt with the word champ on it. Now, this is not necessary to hold on my pants, but this is a precious reminder of the sweet used to be. Oh, sometimes a man has to hawk his sweet used to be in order to finance his present situation.
Oh, Jack of Diamonds, you robbed my pockets. You robbed my pockets of silver and gold.
Block 4 on the Camino Real. Block 4. There was a phase of light music as the Baron de Charles, an elderly foppish sybarite on a light silk suit, a carnation in his lapel, crosses from the Siete Mars to the honky-tonk side of the street. On his trail is a wild-looking young man of startling beauty called Lobo. Charles is aware of the follower, and during his conversation with A-Rat, he takes out a pocket mirror to inspect himself while pretending to comb his hair and point his moustache. As Charles approaches, the manager of the Fleabag puts up a vacancy sign and calls out,
"A bed at the Ritzman only. A little white ship to sail the dangerous night in."
Ah, bonsoir, Mr. Rat.
"Cruising?"
No, just walking.
"That's all you need to do."
I sometimes find it suffices. You have a vacancy, do you?
"For you?"
And a possible guest? You know the requirements. An iron bed with no mattress, and a considerable length of stout, knotted rope. No, chains this evening, metal chains.
Thank you.
I have been very bad. I have a lot to atone for.
"Why don't you take these joyrides at the Siete Mares?"
They don't have ingresso libero at the Siete Mares. I don't like these places in the hot season, the alta stagione, and yet, if you go between the fashionable seasons, it's too hot or too damp or appallingly overrun by all the wrong sort of people who rap on the wall if canaries sing in your bed spring after midnight. I don't know why such people don't stay at home. Surely a Kodak, a Brownie, or even a Leica works just as well in Milwaukee or Sioux City as it does work in these places as they do on their whirlwind summer tours. And don't look now, but I I think I'm being followed.
Yep, you've made a pickup.
Attractive.
That depends on who's driving the bicycle, Dad.
Ciao, caro. Expect me at 10.
Vacancy here. A little white ship to sail the dangerous night in.
Music changes. Kilroy backs out of the loan shark's belt unsold, engaged in a violent dispute. The loan shark is haggling for his golden gloves. Charles lingers, intrigued by the scene.
I don't want no belt. I want the gloves. $8.50.
No dice.
$9.50.
Nah.
Yeah.
I say nah.
I say yeah.
Well, the nahs have it.
Don't be a fool. What can you do with a pair of golden gloves?
I can remember the battles I fought to win them. I can remember that I used to be champ.
You can remember that you used to be the champ.
Yeah, I used to be champ.
Used to be is the past tense, meaning useless.
Not to me, mister. These are my gloves. These gloves are gold, and I fought a lot of hard fights to win them. I broke clean from the clinches. I never hit a low blow. The referee never told me to mix it up. And the fixers never got to me.
In other words, a sucker.
Yep, I'm a sucker that won the Golden Gloves.
Congratulations. My final offer is a piece of green paper with Alexander Hamilton's picture on it. Take it or leave it.
I leave it for you to stuff it. I'd hustle my heart on this street. I'd peddle my heart's true blood before I leave my golden gloves, hung up in a loan shark's window between a rusted trombone and some poor lush's long ago mildewed tuxedo.
So you say, but I will see you later.
The name of that Camino is not unreal.
Padam.
Echoes the beat of my heart. Padam. Hello.
Hey, mate. It's wonderful to see you.
Thanks. But why?
A normal American in a clean white suit?
My suit is pale yellow. My nationality is French. And my normality has often subject to question.
Yeah, I still say your suit is clean.
Thanks. That's more than I can say for your apparel.
Hey, don't judge a book by its covers. I'd take a shower if I could locate the why.
What's the why?
It's sort of a Protestant church with a swimming pool in it. And sometimes it also has an employment bureau. It does good in the community.
Nothing in this community does much good.
Yeah, I'm getting the same impression. Now, this place is confusing to me. I think it must be the after effects of fever. You know, nothing seems real. Could you give me the scoop?
Serious questions are referred to the gypsy. Once upon a time, I used to wander. Now I simply wander. I stroll about the fountain and hope to be followed. Some people call it corruption. I call it simplification.
I wonder what's become of Sally, that old gal of mine.
Well, anyhow. How about hot spots in this town?
The hot spots? There's the pink flamingo, the yellow pelican, the blue heron, and the prothonotary warbler. They call it the bird circuit, but I don't care for such places. They stand 3 deep at the bar and look at themselves in the mirror, and what they see is depressing. One sailor comes in, they faint. My own choice of resorts is the bucket of blood downstairs at the Ritz Men Only. How about a match?
Where's your cigarette?
Oh, I don't smoke. I just wanted to see your eyes more clearly.
Why?
The eyes are the windows of the soul, and oh, yours are too gentle for someone who has as much as I have to atone for. Au revoir.
Very unusual type character. Gee, it's wonderful to see you, a normal American in a... Excuse me a minute. Now I try to interfere, but what's the use?
No use at all.
Who are they pointing at? At me? Kilroy? Sons of whatever you're sons of. Don't look at me. I'm not about to take no ride in the barrel.
Block 5 on the Camino Real.
Gee, the blocks go fast on this street.
Yeah, the blocks go fast.
My name's Kilroy. I'm here.
Mine is Casanova. I'm here too.
But you've been here longer than me. And maybe could brief me on it. For instance, what do they do with a stiff picked up in this town? Did I say something untactful?
The exchange of serious questions and ideas, especially between persons from opposite sides of the plaza, is regarded unfavorably here. You'll notice I'm talking as if I had acute laryngitis. I'm gazing into the sunset. If I should start to whistle La Golondrina, it means we're being overheard by the guards on the terrace. Now, you want to know what is done to a body from which the soul has departed on the Camino Real? Its disposition depends on what the street cleaners happen to find in its pockets. If its pockets are empty, as the unfortunate Baron's turned out to be, and as mine are at this moment, the stiff is wheeled straight off to the laboratory. From there, the individual becomes an undistinguished member of a collectivist state. His chemical components are separated and poured into containing the corresponding elements of countless others. If any of his vital organs or parts are at all unique in size or structure, they're placed on exhibition in bottles containing a very foul-smelling solution called formaldehyde. There is a charge of admission to this museum. The proceeds go to the maintenance of the military police.
He whistles La Golondrina till the guard turns his back again. He moves toward the front of the stage.
I guess that's sensible.
Yes, but not romantic. And romance is important, don't you think?
Nobody thinks romance is more important than me.
Except possibly me.
Hey, maybe that's why fate has brought us together. We're buddies under the skin.
Travelers born.
Always looking for something.
Satisfied by nothing.
Hopeful.
Always.
Keep moving. And when a joker on the Camino gets fed up with one continual hassle, how does he get off it?
Oh, you see the narrow and very steep stairway that passes under what is described in the travel brochures as a magnificent arch of triumph? Well, that's the way out.
That's the way out.
Kilroy without
Well,
hesitation.
how does the prospect please you, traveler born?
It's too unknown for my blood. Man, I seen nothing like it except through a telescope once in the pier of Coney Island. 10 cents to see the craters and plains of the moon. And here's the same view in 3 dimensions for nothing.
Are you ready to cross it?
Maybe sometime with someone, but not right now and alone. How about you?
Oh, I'm not alone.
You're with a party?
No, but I'm sweetly encumbered with a lady.
I wouldn't do with a lady. And I don't see nothing but nothing, and then more nothing. And then I see some mountains. And then the mountains are covered with snow.
Snowshoes would be useful.
Mush, mush.
It's sleepy time down south.
Block 6 in a progress of 16 blocks on the Camino Real.
Oh, man, I could use a bed right now. Make me a cool pad on this Camino now. Lie down, sleep, and dream of being with someone friendly.
Yeah. Vacancy here. I got a single bed at the rich man only, a little white ship to sail the dangerous night in.
You got a vacancy here?
I got a vacancy here if you got the 150 there.
You know, I've been in countries where money was not legal tender. I mean, it was legal, but it wasn't tender. Somebody dying on you or just drunk?
Who knows? Who cares in this pad, Dad?
No, I heard once that a man can't die while he's drunk. Is that a fact or a fiction?
Strictly a fiction.
Stiffen number 7. Call the street cleaners.
Number 7 is vacant.
Thanks, but tonight I'm going to sleep under the stars.
Have it your way.
A-Rat gestures have it your way. Kilroy, left alone, starts downstage. He notices that La Madrecita is crouched near the fountain, holding something up inconspicuously in her hand. Coming to her, he sees that it's a piece of food. He takes it, puts it in his mouth, tries to thank her, but her head is down, muffled in her rebozo, and there is no way for him to acknowledge the gift. He starts to cross. Street people raise up their heads in the pit and motion him invitingly to come in with them. They call softly, "Sleep."
Hey, Joe.
Who, me?
Yes, you, Candyman. Are you desocupado?
That means unemployed, don't it?
Jobless, on the bum, carrying the banner.
I know. Don't try to hang no vagrancy rap on me. I was robbed on this square, and I got plenty of witnesses to prove it.
Oh.
Witnesses? Witnesses? Witnesses! You were a witness. Hey, Gypsy's daughter, you were a witness.
Here, boy, take these.
What is this outfit?
The uniform of a patsy.
Oh, I know what a patsy is. He's a clown in the circus who takes pratfalls, but I'm no patsy.
Pick it up.
Don't give me orders. Kilroy is a free agent.
But a patsy isn't. Pick it up and put it on, Candyman. You are now the patsy.
So you say, but you are completely mistaken. And don't crowd me with your torpedoes. I'm a stranger here, but I got a clean record in all the places I've been. I'm not in the books for nothing, but vagrancy. And once, when I was hungry, I walked by a truckload of pineapples without picking one. Because I was brought up good. And there was a cop on the corner.
Pongo Salo.
What'd you say? What did he say?
Pongo Salo.
What did you say?
The officer shoves him down roughly to the patsy outfit. Kilroy picks up the pants, shakes them carefully as if about to step into them, and says very politely,
Why, surely I'd be delighted. My fondest dreams have come true.
Stop him. Arrest that vagrant. Don't let him get away.
Be on the lookout for a fugitive patsy. The patsy has escaped. Stop him. Stop that patsy. A wild chase commences. The two guards rush madly down either side to intercept him at the back of the house. Kilroy wheels about at the top of the center aisle and runs back down it, panting, gasping out questions and entreaties to various persons occupying aisle seats, such as,
How do I get out? Which way do I go? Which way do I get out? Where's the Greyhound Depot? Hey, do you know where the Greyhound Depot is? What's the best way out? If there is any way out, I gotta find one. I had enough of this place. I had too much of this place. I'm free. I'm a free man with equal rights in this world. You better believe it, because that's news for you, and you had better believe it. Kilroy's a free man with equal rights in this world, all right? Now, help me. Somebody help me find a way out. I gotta find one. I don't like this place. It's not for me, and I'm not buying any. Oh, over there. I see a sign that says exit. That's a sweet word to me, man. That's a lovely word. Exit. That's the entrance to paradise for Kilroy. Exit. I'm coming. Exit. I'm coming.
The street people have gathered along the fourth stage to watch the chase. Esmeralda, barefooted, wearing only a slip, bursts out of the gypsy's establishment like an animal broken out of a cage, darts among the street people to the front of the crowd, which is shouting like the spectators at the climax of a corrida. Behind her, Nurse appears, a male actor, wigged and dressed austerely as a duenna, crying out in both languages. Esmeralda!
Esmeralda!
Police!
Come back here, Esmeralda!
Pack her, idiot!
Where is my ladybird? Where is my precious treasure?
Idiot. I told you to keep her door locked.
She gave me the lock, Esmeralda.
Here she is. I got her.
Esmeralda fights savagely. She nearly breaks loose, but Nursey and the gypsy close upon her too, and she is overwhelmed and dragged back, fighting all the way toward the door from which she escaped. Meanwhile, timed with the above action, shots are fired in the air by Kilroy's pursuers. He dashes, panting, into the boxes of the theater, darting from one box to another, shouting incoherently, now sobbing for breath, crying out,
Mary, help a Christian! Help a Christian, Mary!
Yankee, Yankee, jump! Jump! Jump, Yankee!
The
Watch
officers...
out down there! Geronimo!
He leaps onto the stage and crumples up with a twisted ankle. Esmeralda screams demoniacally, breaks from her mother's grasp and rushes to him, fighting off his pursuers who have leapt after him from the box. Abdullah, Nursey, and the gypsy seize her again, just as Kilroy is seized by his pursuers. The officers beat him to his knees. Each time he is struck, Esmeralda screams as if she received the blow herself. As his cries subside into sobbing, so do hers. And at the end, when he is quite helpless, she is also overcome by her captors, and as they drag her back to the gypsy, she cries out to him,
They've got you! They've got me! Cut! Cut! We're cut!
She's dragged.
Okay.
She's dragged inside. The door is slammed shut on her continuing outcries. For a moment, nothing is heard but Kilroy's horse panting and sobbing. Gutman takes command of the situation, thrusting his way through the crowd to face Kilroy, who is pinioned by two guards.
Well, how do you do? I understand you're seeking employment here. We need a patsy, and the job is yours for the asking.
I don't accept this job. I've been shanghaied.
Hush. Patsy doesn't talk. He lights his nose, that's all.
Press the little button at the end of the cord.
That's right. Just press the little button at the end of the cord. Again. Again.
The nose goes off and on like a firefly as the stage dims out. the curtain falls, there is a short intermission.
Block 7. The dreamer is singing with mandolin, Noche de Ron. The guests murmur, cool, cool. Gutman stands on the podium-like elevation downstage right, smoking a long, thin cigar, signing an occasional tab from the bar or cafe. He is standing in an amber spot. The rest of the stage is filled with blue dust. At the signal, the song fades to a whisper, and Gutman speaks.
Block 7 on the Camino Real. I like this hour. The fire's gone out of the day, but the light of it lingers. In Rome, the continual fountains are bathing stone heroes with silver. In Copenhagen, the Tivoli gardens are lighted. They're selling the lottery at San Juan de Latran.
Recuerdos, recuerdos.
And these are the moments when we look into ourselves and ask with a wonder, which is never lost altogether, can this be all? Is there nothing more? Is this what the glittering wheels of the heavens turn for? Ask the gypsy. Un poco dinero will tickle the gypsy's palm and give her visions.
Letter for Signor Casanova. Letter for Signor Casanova.
Casanova, have you received a letter? Perhaps it's the letter with a remittance check in it.
Yes, it is. The letter with the remittance check in it.
Then why don't you take it so you can maintain your residence at the Siete Mares, and so avoid the more somber attractions of the Ritz men only?
My hand is...
Your hand is paralyzed? By what? Anxiety, apprehension? Put the letter in Senor Casanova's pocket so he can open it when he recovers the use of his digital extremities. And give him a shot of brandy on the house before he falls on his face.
Yes, I know the Morse code. Thank you, brother. I knew without asking the gypsy that something of this sort would happen to you. You have a spark of anarchy in your spirit, and that's not to be tolerated. Nothing wild or honest is tolerated here. It has to be extinguished or used only to light up your nose for Mr. Gutman's amusement. Before the final block, we'll find some way out of here. Meanwhile, patience and courage, little brother. Patience. Courage.
Mr. Gutman.
Lady Mulligan, how are you this evening? Lord Mulligan?
He's not at all well. This climate is so enervating.
I was so weak this morning I couldn't screw the lid on my toothpaste.
Raymond, tell Mr. Gutman about those two impertinent workmen in the square. These two idiots pushing a white barrel pop up every time we step outside the hotel.
Point and giggle at me.
Can't they be discouraged?
They can't be discharged, disciplined, nor bribed. All you can do is pretend to ignore them.
I can't eat. Raymond, stop stuffing.
Shut up.
When the big wheel cracks on this street, it's like the fall of a capital city, the destruction of Carthage, the sack of Rome by the white-eyed giants from the north. I've seen them fall. I've seen the destruction of them. Adventurers suddenly frightened of a dark room. Gamblers unable to choose between odd and even. Con men and pitchmen and plume-hatted cavaliers turned baby soft at one note of the street cleaner's pipes. When I observe this change, I say to myself, could it happen to me? The answer is yes. And that's what curdles my blood like the milk on the doorstep of someone gone for the summer.
A hunchback murmur somersaults through his hoop of silver bells, springs up and shakes it excitedly toward a downward arch, which begins to flicker with a diamond blue radiance. This marks the advent of each legendary character in the play. The music follows, a waltz from the time of Camille in Paris.
Ah, there's the music of another legend, one that everyone knows. The legend of the sentimental whore, the courtesan who makes the mistake of love. But now you see her coming into the plaza, not as she was when she burned with a fever that cast thin light over Paris, but changed, yes, faded as lanterns fade and legends fade when they burn into day. Rosita, sell her a flower.
Camellias, pink or white, whichever a lady finds suitable to the moon.
Yes, that's the ticket.
Yes, I would like a camellia.
Rouge en blanc ce soir is my French.
It's always a white one now. But there used to be 5 evenings out of the month when a pink camellia, instead of the usual white one, let my admirers know that the moon those nights was unfavorable to pleasure, and so they called me Camille.
Mia cara. Out of the way, make way, let us through, please.
Don't push them with your cane.
If they get close enough, they'll snatch your purse.
Oh.
What is it?
My purse is gone. It's lost. My papers were in it.
Your passport was in it?
My passport and my permiso de residencia.
Oh. Where did you take her?
Oh, Petit Zoco.
The souks.
The souks?
Which cafe did she go to?
Ahmed, she went to,
Did she smoke at Ahmed's?
Toolkit Pipes.
What? Who was it who took her purse? Was it you? We'll see.
Jacques, let the boy go. He didn't take it.
He doesn't have it on him, but he knows who does.
No, I don't know.
You little son of a gypsy. Senta, you know who I am. I am Jacques Casanova. I belong to the secret order of the rose-colored cross. Run back to Ahmed's. Contact the spiv that took the lady's purse. Tell him to give it back. Tell him to keep it, but give her back her papers. There'll be a large reward.
Waiter, that adventurer and his mistress must not be seated next to Lord Mulligan's table.
This hotel has become a mecca for black marketeers and their expensively kept women.
Mr. Gutman.
Let's have dinner upstairs.
This way, monsieur.
We'll take our usual table.
Please.
This table is reserved for Lord Byron.
This table is always our table.
I'm not hungry.
Hold out the lady's chair, cretino.
Permit me.
We'll move to that table.
You must learn how to carry the banner of Bohemia into the enemy camp.
Bohemia has no banner. It survives by discretion.
I'm glad that you value discretion. Wine list. Was it your discretion that led you through the bazaars this afternoon wearing your cabochon sapphire and diamond eardrops? We're fortunate that you lost only your purse and papers.
Take the wine list.
Still or sparkling?
Sparkling.
May I make a suggestion, Senor Casanova?
Well, please do.
It's a very cold and dry wine from only 10 meters below the snow line in the mountains. The name of the wine is Cuando, meaning when, such as when are remittances going to be received? When are accounts going to be settled? Bring Senor Casanova a bottle of Cuando with the compliments of the house.
I'm sorry this had to happen in your presence.
That doesn't matter, my dear, but why don't you tell me when you're short of money?
I thought the fact was apparent. It is to everyone else.
The letter you were expecting, it still hasn't come?
It came this afternoon. Here it is.
You haven't opened the letter.
I haven't had the nerve to. I've had so many unpleasant surprises that I have lost faith in my luck.
Give the letter to me. Let me open it for you.
Later. A little bit later. After the wine.
Old hawk. Anxious old hawk.
Do you call that a kiss?
I call it the ghost of a kiss. It will have to do for now.
Oh, are you tired? Are you tired, Marguerite? You know you should have rested this afternoon.
I looked at Silver and rested.
You looked at Silver at Ahmed's?
No, I rested at Ahmed's and had mint tea.
You had mint tea downstairs?
No, upstairs.
Upstairs, where they burn the poppy?
Upstairs where it's cool and there's music and the haggling of the bazaar is soft as the murmur of pigeons.
Ah, that sounds restful. Reclining among silk pillows on a divan in a curtained and perfumed alcove above the bazaar?
Forgetting for a while where I am, or that I don't know where I am.
Forgetting alone, or forgetting with some young companion who plays the lute or the flute, or who had silver to show you? Yes, that sounds very restful. And yet, you do seem tired.
If I seem tired, it's your insulting solicitude that I'm tired of.
Is it insulting to feel concerned for your safety in this place?
Yes, it is. The implication is.
What is the implication?
You know what it is. That I'm one of those aging voluptuaries who used to be paid for pleasure but now have to pay. Jacques, I won't be followed. I've gone too far to be followed. What is it?
A letter for the lady.
How strange to receive a letter in a place where nobody knows I'm staying. Will you open it for me? Well, what is it?
Oh, nothing important. An illustrated brochure from some resort in the mountains.
What is it called?
Bide a while. Do you know this resort in the mountains?
Yes, I stayed there once. It's one of those places with open sleeping verandas surrounded by snowy pine woods. It has rows and rows of narrow white iron beds as regular as tombstones. The invalids smile at each other when axes flash across valleys, ring, flash, ring again. Young voices shout across valleys, "Hola!" and mail is delivered. The friend that used to write you 10-page letters contents himself now with a postcard bluebird that tells you to get well quick. And when the last bleeding comes, not much later nor earlier than expected, you're wheeled discreetly into a little tent of white gauze, and the last thing you know of this world, of which you've known so little and yet so much, is the smell of an empty icebox.
You won't go back to that place.
I wasn't released. I left without permission. They sent this to remind me.
You dropped this.
We threw it away.
Excuse me.
Now, from now on, Marguerite, you must take better care of yourself. Do you hear me?
I hear you. No more distractions for me. No more entertainers in curtained and perfumed alcoves above the bazaar. No more young men that a pinch of white powder or a puff of gray smoke can almost turn to someone devoutly remembered.
No. From now on.
What from now on, old hawk?
Rest. Peace.
Rest in peace is that final bit of advice they carve on gravestones, and I'm not ready for it. Are you? Are you ready for it? Oh, Jacques, when are we going to leave here? How are we going to leave here? You've got to tell me.
I've told you all I know.
Nothing. You've given up hope.
I haven't. That's not true.
Her name is Aurora.
Why do you call her Aurora?
She cries at daybreak.
Only at daybreak?
Yes, at daybreak only.
How long is it since you've been to the travel agencies?
This morning I made the usual round of Cook's, American Express, Wagon Lee, Universal, and it was the same story. There are no flights out of here till further orders from someone higher up.
Nothing? Nothing at all?
Oh, there's a rumor of something called the Fugitivo.
The what?
The Fugitivo. It's one of those non-scheduled things.
When? When?
I told you it was non-scheduled. Non-scheduled means it comes and goes at no predictable...
Don't give me the dictionary. I want to know, how does one get on it? Do you bribe them? Did you offer them money? No, of course you didn't. And I know why. You really don't want to leave here. You think you don't want to go because you're brave as an old hawk, but the truth of the matter, the real, not the royal truth, is that you're terrified of the terra incognita outside that wall.
You've hit upon the truth. I'm terrified of the unknown country, inside or outside this wall, or any place on earth without you with me. The only country, known or unknown, that I can breathe in or care to is the country in which we breathe together, as we are now at this table. And later, a little while later, even closer than this, the sole inhabitants of a tiny world whose limits are those of the light from a rose-colored lamp beside the sweetly, completely known country of your cool bed.
The little comfort of love.
Is that comfort so little?
Caged birds accept each other, but flight is what they long for.
I want to stay with you and love you and guard you until the time or way comes that we both can leave with honor.
Leave with honor? Vocabulary is almost out of date as your cape and your cane. How could anyone quit this field with honor? This place where there's nothing but the gradual wasting away of everything decent in us. The sort of desperation that comes even after desperation has been worn out through long wear. Why have they put these screens around the table?
There, you see? I don't understand why you let such people stay here.
They pay the price of admission the same as you.
What price is that?
Desperation. With cash here. Without cash, there. Block 8 on the Camino Real. You're leaving us, Lord Byron?
Yes, I'm leaving you, Mr. Gutman.
What a pity. But this is a port of entry and departure. There are no permanent guests. Possibly you are getting a little restless?
The luxuries of this place have made me soft. The metal's point's gone from my pen, and there's nothing left but the feather.
That may be true, but what can you do about it?
Make my departure.
From yourself?
From my present self to myself as I used to be.
That's the furthest departure a man could make. I guess you're sailing to Athens. There's another war there, and like all wars since the beginning of time, it can be interpreted as a struggle for what?
For freedom. You may laugh at it, but it still means something to me.
Of course it does. I'm not laughing a bit. I am beaming with admiration.
I've allowed myself many distractions.
Yes, indeed.
But I've never altogether forgotten my old devotion to the...
To what, Lord Byron? You can't remember the object of your one-time devotion.
When Shelley's corpse was recovered from the sea, it was burned at the beach at Viareggio. I watched the spectacle from my carriage because the stench was revolting. Then it fascinated me. I got out of my carriage, went nearer, holding a handkerchief to my nostrils. I saw that the front of the skull had broken away and in the flames. And there was the brain of Shelley, indistinguishable from a cooking stew, boiling, bubbling, hissing in the blackening, cracked pot of his skull. Trelawney, my friend, Trelawney, through salt and oil and frankincense and flames, and finally the almost intolerable stench was gone, and the burning was pure, as a man's burning should be. A man's burning ought to be pure, not like mine, a crepe Suzette burned in brandy. Shelley's burning was finally very pure, but the body, the corpse, split open like a grilled pig. And then Trelawney, as the ribs of the corpse unlocked, reached into them as a baker reaches quickly into an oven, and snatched out, as a baker would a biscuit, the heart of Shelley, snatched the heart of Shelley out of the blistering corpse, out of the purifying blue flame. And it was over. I thought it was a distinguishing thing, a disgusting thing to do, to snatch a man's heart from his body. What can one man do with another man's heart?
He can do this with it. He can twist it like this. He can tear it like this. He can crush it under his foot and kick it away like this.
That's very true, senor. But a poet's vocation, which used to be my vocation, is to influence the heart in a gentler fashion than you have made your mask on that loaf of bread. He ought to purify it and lift it above its ordinary level. For what is the heart but a sort of instrument that translates noise into music, chaos into order, a mysterious order. That was my vocation once upon a time before it was obscured by vulgar plaudits. Little by little, it was lost among the gondolas in the palazzos, masked balls, glittering salons, huge shadowy courts and torchlit entrances, baroque facades, canopies and carpets, candelabra and gold plate among snowy damask, ladies with throats as slender as flower stems, bending and breathing towards me in their fragrant breath, exposing their breasts to me, whispering, half smiling, and everywhere marble and the visible grandeur of marble, pink and gray marble, veined and tinted as flayed, corrupting flesh. All these provided agreeable distractions from the rather frightening solitude of a poet. Oh, I wrote many cantos in Venice and Constantinople and in Ravenna and Rome, and all of those Latin and Levantine excursions that my twisted foot led me into. But I wonder about them little. They seem to improve as a wine in the bottle dwindles. There is a passion for declivity in this world. And lately I find myself listening to hired musicians behind a row of artificial palm trees instead of the single, pure stringed instrument of my heart. Well then, it's time to leave here. This is a time for departure even when there's no certain place to go. I'm going to look for one now. I'm sailing to Athens. At least I can look up at the Acropolis. I can stand at the foot of it, and I can look up at broken columns on the crest of a hill. If not purity, at least it's recollection. I can sit quietly looking for a long, long time in absolute silence, and possibly, yes, still possibly, the old pure music will come to me again. Of course, on the other hand, I might hear only the little noise of insects in the grass. But I'm sailing to Athens. Make voyages, attempt them. There's nothing else.
Watch where he goes. Watch him. Watch him, see which way he goes. Maybe he knows a way out that we haven't found out.
Yes, I'm watching him, Kara.
Oh my God, I believe he's going up that alley.
Yes, he is. He has.
Oh, the fool, the idiot. He's going under the arch.
Jacques, run after him. Warn him, tell him about the desert he has to cross.
I think he knows what he's doing.
Oh, I can't look.
This way.
Block 9 on the Camino Real.
Jacques, I hear something in the sky.
I think what you hear is...
No, it's a plane. A great one. I see the lights of it now.
Some kind of fireworks, Kara.
Hush, listen. I see it. I see it there. It's circling above us.
Raymond, Raymond, sit down. Your face is flushed.
Who is
What
it?
is it?
The Fugitivo?
The
Fugitivo? Fugitivo?
Wait,
The Fugitivo.
There.
Catch a
It's
check.
right.
Who's tag? I'll wait
Never
here.
mind luggage.
Throw
We
some things
have
in
our
the
money
bag
and our
and I'll wait
papers.
Land.
There, it's
Yeah,
turning
like
to
this.
land.
Now, just go, just go.
Oh, it's rising again.
Shh.
Oh.
Signs in the sky should not be mistaken for wonders. Ladies and gentlemen, please resume your seats. Why wasn't I told the Fugitivo was coming?
What a lovely trip.
Senior was thrilling.
So
It's-
quick.
The only way to travel.
The only way to travel, etc., etc.
Fugitivo now loading for departure. Fugitivo loading immediately for departure. Northwest corner of the plaza.
Jacques, it's the Fugitivo. It's the non-scheduled thing you heard of this afternoon.
All outgoing passengers on the Fugitivo are requested to present their tickets and papers immediately at this station.
He said outgoing passengers.
Outgoing passengers on the Fugitivo report immediately at this station for customs inspection.
Why are you just standing there?
Che cosa posso fare?
Move! Move! Do something!
What?
Go to them. Ask. Find out.
I have no idea what the damn thing is.
I do. I'll tell you. It's a way to escape from this abominable place.
Forse, non so.
It's a way out, and I'm not going to miss it.
Issez la douane. Customs inspection. Here.
Customs, that means luggage. Run to my room. Here, key. Throw a few things in my bag, my jewels, my furs, but hurry. Vite, vite, vite. I don't believe there's much time. No, everybody's clamoring for tickets. There must be limited space. Why don't you do what I tell you? Monsieur, Senor, pardonnez-moi. I'm going out. I want my ticket.
Name, please.
Mademoiselle Gautier, but
Gautier?
I'm not listed.
Yeah.
I'm traveling under another name.
What name are you traveling under?
Prudence and Olympe rush out of the hotel half-dressed, dragging their furs. Meanwhile, Kilroy is trying to make a fast buck or two as a redcap. The scene gathers. Wild momentum is punctuated by crashes of percussion. Grotesque murmurs act as a demon custom inspectors and immigration authorities, etc. Baggage is tossed about, ripped open, smuggled goods seized, arrests made, all amid the wildest importunities, protests, threats, bribes, entreaties. It's a scene for improvisation.
Oh, thank God I woke up.
Thank God I wasn't asleep.
I knew it was non-scheduled, but I did think they'd give you the time to get your girdle.
She's trying to crash it. I know damn well she don't have a reservation.
What name did you say, mademoiselle? Please, people are waiting. You're holding up the line.
I'm so confused. Jacques, what name did you make my reservation under?
He has no reservation.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I'm next.
Hey, don't take my old bag.
I was here first. I was here before anybody. Jacques, quick, get my money from the hotel safe.
Stay in line.
5 minutes. The Fugitivo leaves in 5 minutes. Five minutes only.
4 minutes.
Monsieur, please. I was here first. I was here before anybody. Look, I have thousands of francs. Take whatever you want. Take all of it. It's yours.
Payment is only accepted in pounds, sterling, or dollars. Next, please.
You don't accept francs? They do at the hotel. They accept my francs at the Sierra Mares.
Lady, don't argue with me. I don't make the rules.
Oh, God, Jacques, just take these back to the cashier. Get them changed to dollars, or hurry to the suite. I'm going to faint.
Marguerite.
Go, please.
Closing. We're closing now. The Fugitivo leaves in 2 minutes.
Let Lord Mulligan through.
You're standing in the way.
Oh, look, monsieur. Regardez ça, my diamond, a solitaire, 2 carats. Take that at security.
Let me go. The loan shark's across the plaza.
You don't understand. Senor Casanova has gone to change money. He'll be here in a second, and I'll pay 10, 5, 10, 20 times the price. Jacques, where are you?
We're closing the gate.
You can't close the gate.
Move, madam.
I won't move.
I tell you, Lord Mulligan is the iron and steel man from Cobb. Raymond, they're closing the gate.
I can't seem to get through.
Hold the gate for Lord Mulligan.
Madam, stand back or I will have to use force.
Jacques.
Let us through. We're clear.
Madam, stand back and let these passengers through.
No, I'm first. I'm next.
Get out of our way. That woman's a whore.
How dare you stand in our way?
Officer, take this woman.
Come on, Raymond.
Jacques, here's the money.
All right, give me your papers.
My papers? Did you say my papers?
Hurry, hurry, your passport.
Jacques, he wants my papers. Give him my papers, Jacques.
The lady's papers are lost.
No, that's not true. He wants to keep me here. He's lying about it.
Have you forgotten that your papers were stolen?
I gave you my papers. I gave you my papers to keep. You've got my papers.
Raymond, hurry!
I'm sick. I'm sick.
You cannot be sick till we get on the fugitivo.
Forward all cables to Guarantee Trust in Paris.
Place de la Concours.
Thank you. All purchases COD to Mulligan Iron and Steelworks in Cobe. Thank you.
Raymond, who are these men?
I know these men. I recognize their faces.
Raymond, they're the street cleaners.
She screams.
Pack Lord Mulligan's body in dry ice. Ship Air Express to Cobe, care of Mulligan Iron and Steelworks in Cobe. I'm coming.
Jacques, oh God.
The fugitivo is leaving. All aboard. Let go of me.
You can't go without me.
Officer, hold this woman.
Marguerite, let him go.
Here, I have them here. Wait, I have my papers now. I have my papers.
Going.
No, not without me. No, not without me.
Her figure is caught in the dazzling glacial light of the follow spot. It blinds her. She makes violent, crazed gestures, clinging to the railing of the steps. Her breath is loud and hoarse as a dying person. She holds a blood-stained handkerchief to her lips. There is a prolonged, gradual fading, rocket-like roar as the fugitivo takes off. Shrill cries of joy from departing passengers. Something radiant passes above the stage, and streams of confetti and tinsel fall into the plaza. Then there is a great calm. The ship's receding roar diminished to the hum of an insect.
Block 10 on the Camino Real.
Block 10, there's something about the desolation of the plaza that suggests a city devastated by bombardment. Reddish lights flicker here and there as if ruins were smoldering, and wisps of smoke rise from them. Okay?
Aquí, Madresita.
Lost.
Lean against me, Cara. Breathe quietly now.
Lost.
Breathe quietly, and look up at the sky.
Lost.
These tropical nights are so clear. Ah, there's the Southern Cross. Do you see the Southern Cross, Marguerite? And there, over there is Orion, like a fat golden fish swimming north in the deep, clear water. And we are together, breathing quietly together, leaning together, quietly together, completely, sweetly together. Not frightened now, not alone, but completely, quietly together. All of us have a desperate bird in our hearts, a memory of some distant mother with wings.
I would have left without you.
I know.
Then how can you still
Hold you? Because you've taught me that part of love which is tender. I never knew it before. Oh, I had mistresses that circled me like moons. I scrambled from one bed chamber to another bed chamber with shirt tails always aflame, from girl to girl like buckets of coal oil poured on a conflagration, but never loved until now with the part of love that's tender.
we're used to each other? That's what you think is love. You'd better leave me now. You'd better go and let me go, because there's a cold wind blowing out of the mountains and over the desert and into my heart. And if you stay with me now, I'll say cruel things. I'll wound your vanity. I'll taunt you with the decline of your male vigor.
Oh, why does disappointment make people unkind to each other?
Each of us is very much alone.
Only if we distrust each other.
We have to distrust each other. It is our only defense against betrayal.
I think our defense is love.
Oh. Jacques, we're used to each other. We're a pair of captive hawks caught in the same cage, and so we've grown used to each other. That's what passes for love at this dim, shadowy end of the Camino Real. What are we sure of? Not even of our existence, dear comforting friend. And whom can we ask the questions that torment us? What is this place? Where are we? A fat old man who gives sly hints that only bewilder us more. A fake of a gypsy squinting at cards and tea leaves. What else are we offered? The never-broken procession of little events that assure us that we and strangers about us are still going on. Where? Why? And the perch that we hold is unstable. We're threatened with eviction, for this is a port of entry and departure. There are no permanent guests. And where else have we to go when we leave here? Bide a while? Ritz men only? Or under that ominous arch into terra incognita? We're lonely. We're frightened. We hear the street cleaners piping not far away. So now and then, although we've wounded each other time and again, we stretch our hands out to each other in the dark that we can't escape from. We huddle together for some dim communal comfort, and that's what passes for love on this terminal stretch of the road that used to be royal. What is it, this feeling between us? When you feel my exhausted weight against your shoulder, when I clasp your anxious old hawk's head to my breast, what is it we feel in whatever is left in our hearts? Something, yes, something delicate, unreal, bloodless. The sort of violets that could grow on the moon or in the crevices of those faraway mountains, fertilized by the droppings of carrion birds. Those birds are familiar to us. Their shadows inhabit the plaza. I've heard them flapping their wings like old charwomen beating worn-out carpets with gray brooms. But tenderness, the violets in the mountains, can't break the rocks.
The violets in the mountains can break the rocks if you believe in them and allow them to grow.
Get your carnival hats and noisemakers here. Tonight the moon will restore the virginity of my sister.
Don't you know that tonight I'm going to betray you?
Why would you do that?
Because I've outlived the tenderness of my heart. Abdullah, come here. I have an errand for you. Go to Ahmed's and deliver a message.
I'm working for Mama, making the Yankee dollar. Get your carnival hats and...
Here, boy.
Your cabochon sapphire?
Yes, my cabochon sapphire.
Are you mad?
Yes, I'm mad, or nearly. The specter of lunacy's at my heels tonight. Catch, boy. The other side of the fountain, quick. Catch, boy. Run to Ahmed's. Tell the charming young man that the French lady's bored with her company tonight. Say that the French lady missed the fugitivo and wants to forget she missed it. Oh, and reserve a room with a balcony so I can watch your sister appear on the roof when the moonrise makes her a virgin.
Oh, boy.
Time betrays us, and we betray each other.
Wait, Marguerite.
No, I can't. The wind from the desert is sweeping me away.
Block 11 in the Camino Real. The fiesta has started. The first event is the coronation of the King of Cuckolds.
Blinding shafts of light are suddenly cast upon Casanova on the forestage. He shields his face, startled as the crowd closes about him. The blinding shafts of light seem to strike him like savage blows, and he falls to his knees. As the hunchback scuttles out of the gypsy's stall with a crown of gilded antlers on a velvet pillow, he places it on Jacques' head. The celebrants form a circle about him, chanting.
What is this, a crown?
A crown of horns.
Cornudo, cornudo, cornudo,
Cornudo, cornudo.
Hail, all hail the King of Cuckolds on the Camino Real.
Si, sono cornudo, cornudo, cornudo. Casanova is the king of cuckolds on the Camino Real. Show me crown to the world. Announce the honor. Tell the world of the honor bestowed on Casanova, Chevalier de Sangalt, Knight of the Golden Spur by the grace of His Holiness the Pope, famous adventurer, conman extraordinary, gambler, pitchman par excellence, shill, pimp, spiv, and great lover. Yes, I said great lover. The greatest lover wears the longest horns on the Camino. Great lover.
Attention, silence. The moon is rising. The restoration is about to occur.
White radiance is appearing over the ancient wall of the town. The mountains become luminous. There is music. Everyone with a breathless attention faces the light. Kilroy crosses to Jacques and beckons him out behind the crowd. There he snatches off the antlers and returns him his fedora. Jacques reciprocates by removing Kilroy's fright wig and electric nose. They embrace as brothers. In a Chaplin-esque dumb play, Kilroy points to the wildly flickering 3 brass balls of the loan shark and to his golden gloves. Then with a terrible grimace, he removes the gloves from about his neck, smiles at Jacques, and indicates that the two of them together will take flight over the wall. Jacques shakes his head sadly, pointing to his heart and then to the Siete Maris. Kilroy nods with regretful understanding of a human and manly folly. A guard has been silently approaching them in a soft shoe dance. Jacques whistles La Golandrina. Kilroy assumes a very nonchalant pose. The guard picks up curiously this discarded fright wig and electric nose. Then glancing suspiciously at the pair, he advances. Kilroy makes a run for it. He does a baseball slide into the loan shark's welcoming doorway. The door slams. The cop is about to crash it when a gang sounds and Gutman shouts.
Silence! Attention! The gypsy!
The moon has restored the virginity of my daughter Esmeralda.
Ah.
The moon in its plenitude has made her a virgin.
Ah.
Praise her, celebrate her, give her suitable homage.
Ah.
Summon her to the roof. Oh, sorry. Esmeralda, rise with the moon, my daughter. Choose the hero.
Ole!
Ole.
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 The details of the carnival are a problem for director and choreographer, but it has already been indicated in the script that the fiesta is sort of a serio-comic, grotesque lyric, rites of fertility with the roots in various pagan cultures. It should not be over-elaborated or allowed to occupy much time. It should not be more than 3 minutes from the appearance of Esmeralda on the gypsy's roof till the return of Kilroy and the loan shark. Kilroy emerges from the pawn shop in grotesque disguise, a turban, dark glasses, a burnous, and an umbrella or sunshade.
So long, pal. I wish you could come with me.
Yankee!
So long, everybody. Good luck to you all on the Camino. I hawked my golden gloves to finance this expedition, and I'm going. Hasta luego. I'm going.
Yankee! Yankee!
Let me go. Let go of me. Watch out for my equipment.
Yankee! Yankee!
Follow spot on that gringo. Light the stairs.
Yankee! Yankee!
What's going on down there?
Oh, no, I'm on my way out.
Espera un momento.
Don't tempt me, baby. I hawked my golden gloves to finance this expedition.
Querido.
Querido means sweetheart, a word which is hard to resist, but I must resist it.
Champ.
I used to be champ, but why remind me of it?
Be champ again. Contend in the contest. Compete in competition.
No, not eligible.
Please.
Slap her, Nursey. She's flipping.
Hero! Champ!
I'm not in condition.
You're still the champ, the undefeated champ of the golden gloves.
Nobody's called me that in a long, long time.
Champ.
My resistance is crumbling.
Champ.
It's crumbled.
Hero.
Geronimo! Doll! You see?
Gilroy, the champ.
Ole.
Ole.
Ole. Ole.
Ole.
Ole.
You see?
Olé!
Olé!
Hooray!
Block
Olé!
12. Block 12. The stage is in darkness except for a spotlight, which picks out Esmeralda on the gypsy's roof.
Mama, what happened? Mama, the lights went out. Mama, where are you? It's so dark. I'm scared. Mama!
Come on downstairs, doll. The mischief is done. You've chosen your hero.
Block 12 on the Camino Real.
Gypsy, the fountain is still dry.
What did you expect? There's nobody left to uphold the old traditions. You raise a girl. She watches television, plays bebop, reads screen secrets. Comes the big fiesta. The moonrise makes her a virgin, which is the neatest trick of the week. And what does she do? Choose a fugitive patsy for the chosen hero. Well, show him in. Admit the joker and get the virgin ready.
You're going through with it?
Look, Nursey, I'm operating a legitimate joint. This joker will get the same treatment he'd get if he breezed down the Camino in a blizzard of G-notes. Trot, girl. Lubricate your means of locomotion.
Nursey goes into the gypsy stall. The gypsy rubs her hands together and blows into the crystal ball, spits on it, and gives the old 1-2 with a chamois rag. She mutters, "Crystal ball, tell me all. Crystal ball, tell me all." As Kilroy bounds into the plaza from her stall, a rose between his teeth.
Siéntese, por favor.
Yeah, no comprendo the lingo.
Put it down.
Hey, gypsy!
Address me as Madame.
Madam Winchell has scoped you.
In a pig's eye.
The fugitivo es...
In Elizabeth, New Jersey. 10:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. While you were putting them kiss-me-quicks in your hairdo. Furthermore, my second exclusive is that the solar system is drifting toward the constellation of Hercules. Skidoo. Quiet back there, God damn it.
She's out of control.
Oh, give her a double bromide. Well, how does it feel to be the chosen hero?
Yeah, I better explain something to you.
Oh, save your breath. Oh, you'll need it.
I want to level with you. Can I level with you?
How could you help but level with a gypsy?
I don't know what the hero is chosen for.
I will brief you. I hate paperwork. Nurse! This filing system is screwed up 6 ways from next Sunday. File this crap under crap. The smoking lamp is lit. Have a stick on me.
No thanks.
Come on, indulge yourself. I mean, you got nothing to lose that won't be lost.
If that's a professional opinion, I don't respect it.
Resume your seat. Give me your full name.
Kilroy.
Date of birth and place of that disaster.
Yeah, both unknown.
Address.
Traveler.
Parents.
Anonymous.
Who brought you up?
I was brought up and down by an eccentric old aunt in Dallas.
Raise both hands simultaneously and swear that you have not come here for the purpose of committing an immoral act.
Hey, Chico!
Quiet! Childhood diseases?
Whooping cough, measles, and mumps.
Likes and dislikes?
I like situations I can get out of. I don't like cops. And
Immaterial. Here, signature on this.
what is it?
Well, you always sign something, don't you?
Not till I know what it is.
Oh, it's just a little formality to give a tone to the establishment and make an impression on our out-of-town trade. Roll up your sleeve.
What for?
A shot of some kind.
Oh, what kind?
Any kind. But don't they always give you some kind of a shot?
They?
Brass hats, Americanos.
I am no guinea pig.
Don't kid yourself. We're all of us guinea pigs in the laboratory of God. Humanity, it's just a work in progress.
Yeah, I don't make it out.
Who does? The Camino Real is a funny paper read backwards. Tired? Or the altitude make you sleepy?
It makes me nervous.
Well, I'll show you how to take a slug of tequila. It dilates the capillaries. First, you sprinkle salt on the back of your hand. Then, lick it off with your tongue. Now, then you toss the shot down. And then you bite into the lemon. I mean, that way it goes down easy, but what a bang. Oh, you're next.
No thanks. I'm on the wagon.
Oh, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, when your goose is cooked, you might as well have it cooked with plenty of gravy. Get up, baby. Well, let's have a look at you. You're not a bad-looking boy. Sometimes working for the Yankee dollar isn't a painful profession. Hey, have you ever been attracted by older women?
A conspiracy that the U.S. military created the outbreak in Wuhan. At the height of the Cold War,
We're being hacked.
the Soviet Union and the United States cooperated on a global alliance to vaccinate
Can you mute him?
against
Yeah, I'm trying to find him.
We are now in the middle of
Thank you.
Okay, where are we?
Sorry.
This filing system?
This filing system is screwed up 6 ways from next. Oh, I'm sorry. Next two pages are repeated. This is 816 again, 817 again. It goes to 818 now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 818?
Yeah, so go to 818.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay.
There's a repeat, yeah.
Frankly, no, ma'am.
Well, it's the first time for everything.
Yeah, that's a subject I cannot agree with you on.
Think I'm an old bag. Will you take the cards or the crystal?
It's immaterial.
All right, we'll begin with the cards. Ask me a question.
Has my luck run out?
Baby, your luck ran out the day you were born. Another question.
Ought I to leave this town?
It don't look to me like you've got much choice in the matter. Take a card. Ace?
Yes, ma'am.
What color?
Black.
Uh-oh, that does it. How big is your heart?
As big as the head of a baby.
It is going to break.
That's what I was afraid of.
The street cleaners are waiting for you outside the door.
Which door? The front one? I'll slip out the back.
Leave us face it frankly, your number is up. You must have known a long time that the name of Kilroy was on the street cleaners list.
Oh, sure, but not on top of it.
Oh, it's always a bit of a shock. Wait a minute. Oh, here's good news. The Queen of Hearts has turned up in proper position.
Well, what's that mean?
Love, baby.
Love.
The booby prize. Esmeralda.
Bong.
What's her specialty? Tea leaves?
You know what curiosity did to the tomcat. Nursey, give me my glamour wig and my 45. I'm hitting the street. I gotta go down to Walgreens for change.
What change?
Oh, the change from that tent spot you're about to give me?
Don't argue with her. She's got a will of iron.
I'm not arguing. But let's be fair about this. I hawked my golden gloves for this sawbuck.
All of them Yankee bastards want something for nothing.
I want a receipt for this bill.
No one is gypped at the gypsies.
Now that's wonderful. How do I know it?
It's in the cards. It's in the crystal ball. It's in the tea leaves. Absolutely no one is gypped at the gypsies. Oh, such changeable weather. I'll slip on my summer furs. Nursey, bring out my summer furs.
Mink or sable?
That's a doll. Here, clock him. Adios.
Mother has such an awful time on the street.
You mean that she's insulted on the street?
By strangers.
I shouldn't think acquaintances would do that. And you seem very different from this afternoon.
This afternoon.
Yes, in the plaza when I was being roughed up by them gorillas and you was being dragged in the house by your mama. You don't remember?
I never remember what happened before the moonrise makes me a virgin.
That comes as a shock to you, huh?
Yes, it comes as a shock.
You have a little temporary amnesia, they call it.
Yankee,
Huh?
I'm glad I chose you. I'm glad that you were the chosen one. I'm glad. I'm very glad.
How
What is it, Nursey?
are the things progressing?
Slowly, Nursey.
I want some light reading matter.
He's sitting on screen secrets.
Ah! Here! I feel self-conscious. Do you like pictures?
Moving pictures?
No, emotionless, a snapshot
Of you?
of my real, true woman. She was a platinum blonde, the same as Jean Harlow. Remember Jean Harlow? Nah, you wouldn't remember Jean Harlow. Shows you're getting old when you remember Jean Harlow. You know, I said that Jean Harlow's ashes are kept in a little private cathedral in Forest Lawn. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you can sprinkle them ashes on the ground like seeds? And out of each one would spring another Jean Harlow. When spring comes, you can just walk out and pick them off the bush. You don't talk much.
You want me to talk?
Well, that's the way we do things in the States. A little vino, some records on the Victrola, some quiet conversation. And then if both parties are in a mood for romance.
Music. They say that the monetary system has been stabilized all over the world.
Now repeat that, please. My radar was not wide open.
I said that they said that, skip it. But we couldn't care less as long as we keep on getting the Yankee dollar, plus federal tax.
Ah, that's for surely.
How do you feel about the class struggle? Do you take sides in that?
Not that I...
Neither do I because of the dialectics.
Who? Which?
Languages with accents. I suppose, but Mama don't care as long as they don't bring the Pope over here and put him in the White House.
Who would do that?
Oh, the Bolsheviks. Those nasty old things with whiskers? Whisker scratching? Oh, like the little mustaches tickle.
I always got a smooth shave.
How do you feel about the mumbo jumbo? Do you think they've got the old man in the bag yet?
The old man?
God. We don't think so. We think there has been so much of the mumbo jumbo to put him to sleep.
You know, this is not what I meant by a quiet conversation. I mean, there is nowhere. Nowhere!
What sort of talk do you want?
Something more intimate, sort of. You know, like...
Where did you get those eyes?
Personal. Yeah.
Well, where did you get those eyes?
Out of a dead codfish.
Doll,
What?
15 minutes.
Hey, I'm no hot rod mechanic. I bet she's out there holding a stopwatch to see that I don't overstay my time in this place.
Nursey, go to bed! Nursey!
That's right. Go to bed, Nursey.
Nursey has gone to bed.
Ah.
What have you got your eyes on?
Well, those green snakes on you. What do you wear them for?
Supposedly for protection, but really for fun. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm about to establish a beachhead on that sofa. How about lifting your veil?
I can't lift it.
Why not?
I promised Mother I wouldn't.
Oh, I thought your mother was the broad-minded type.
Oh, she is. But you know how mothers are. You can lift it for me if you say pretty please. Go on. Say it. Say pretty please.
No,
Why not?
it's silly.
Then you can't lift my veil.
All right. Pretty please.
Say it again.
Pretty please.
Now say it once more like you mean it. Don't go away.
You're making a fool out of me.
I was just teasing a little because you're so cute. Sit down again, please. Pretty, please.
Hey, what is that perfume you got on?
Guess.
Chanel number 5.
No,
Taboo.
no.
I give up.
It's Noche on Acapulco. I'm just dying to go to Acapulco. I wish you would take me to Acapulco. What's the matter?
You gypsy's daughters are invariably reminded of something without which you cannot do, just when it looks like everything has been fixed.
That isn't nice at all. I'm not a gold digger type. Some girls see themselves in silver foxes. I only see myself in Acapulco.
At Todd's place?
Oh, no. At the Mirador, watching those pretty boys dive off the quebrada.
Look again, baby. Maybe you'll see yourself in Paramount Pictures or having a Singapore sling at a Statler bar.
You're being sarcastic.
Nope, just realistic. All of you gypsies' daughters have hearts of stone, and I'm not whistling Dixie. But just the same, the night before a man dies, he says, "Pretty please, will you let me lift your veil?" While the street cleaners wait for him right outside the door. Because to be warm for a little longer is life. And love? That's a 4-letter word, which is sometimes no better than the one you see printed on fences by kids playing hooky from school. Oh well. What's the use in complaining? You gypsies' daughters have ears that only catch sounds like the snap of a gold cigarette case. Or, pretty please, baby. We're going to Acapulco.
Are we?
See what I mean? Didn't I tell you? Yes, in the morning.
Ooh, I'm dizzy with joy. My little heart is going pitty-pat.
My big heart is going boom, boom. Can I lift your veil now?
If you will be so gentle.
I would not hurt a fly unless it had leather mittens.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
What? What's the matter?
You're not being gentle.
I am being gentle.
You are not being gentle.
What was I being then?
Rough.
I am not being rough.
Yes, you are being rough. You have to be gentle with me because you're the first.
Are you kidding?
No.
How about all those other fiestas you've been to?
Each one's the first one. This is the wonderful thing about Gypsy's daughters.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I don't like you when you're like that.
Like what?
Cynical and sarcastic.
I am sincere.
Lots of boys aren't sincere.
Maybe they aren't, but I am.
Everyone says he's sincere, but everyone isn't sincere. If everyone was sincere, who says he's sincere there wouldn't be half so many insincere ones in the world, and there would be lots more really sincere ones.
I think you got something there. But how about Gypsy's daughters?
Huh?
Are they 100% in the really sincere category?
Well, yes and no. Mostly no. But some of them, for a while, if their sweethearts are gentle.
Would you believe I am sincere and gentle?
I would believe that you believe you are for a while.
Everything's for a while. For a while is the stuff that dreams are made of, baby.
Yes, now, but be gentle. Now, gentle.
I am sincere.
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 I am sincere. Is that all?
I am tired.
Already?
I am tired and full of regret.
Oh,
It wasn't much to give my golden gloves for.
you pity yourself?
That's right, I pity myself. And everybody that goes to the gypsy's daughter. I pity the world, and I pity the God who made it.
It's always like that as soon as the veil is lifted. They're all so ashamed of having degraded themselves. And their hearts have more regret than a heart can hold.
Even a heart that's as big as the head of a baby.
You don't even notice how pretty my face is, do you?
Well, you look like all gypsy's daughters. No better, no worse. But as long as you get to go to Acapulco, your cup runneth over with ordinary continent.
I have never been so insulted in all my life.
Oh, yes, you have, baby. And you'll be insulted worse if you stay in this racket. You'll be insulted so much that it will get to be like water off a duck's back. Okay, Mamacita, I'm aware of your presence.
I was followed 3 blocks by some awful man.
Well, then you caught him.
Nah, he ducked into a subway. I waited 15 minutes outside the men's room, and he never came out.
Then you went in?
No, I got myself a sailor. The streets are brilliant. Have you all been good children? The pussy will play while the old mother cat is away.
Your sense of humor is wonderful. Now, how about my change, Mamacita?
Oh, what change are you talking about?
Are you boxed out of your mind? The change from that 10 spot you trotted over to Walgreens.
Oh,
Oh, what?
well, 5 for the works, $1 luxury tax, 2 for the house percentage, and 2 more pour la service. Makes 10. Didn't I tell you?
What kind of a deal is this?
A rugged one, baby.
Mama, don't be unkind.
Honey, the gentleman's friends are waiting outside the door, and it wouldn't be nice to detain him. Come on, get going. Vamos.
Okay, Mamacita, my boy. Sincere, sure. That's the wonderful thing about Gypsy's daughters.
Look, Mama, a tear.
You have been watching television too much.
Block 13. In the blackout, the street cleaners place a barrel in the center and then hide in the pit. Kilroy, who enters from right, is followed by a spotlight. He sees the barrel and the menacing street cleaners, and then the closed door of the site, Siete Maris, and rings the bell. No one answers. He backs up so he can see the balcony and calls.
Mr. Gutman, just give me a cot in the lobby. I'll do jobs in the morning. I'll be the patsy again. I light my nose 60 times a minute. I'll take pratfalls and assume the position for anybody that drops a dime on the street. Have a heart. Have just a little heart, please.
Gutman, open the door. Gutman!
Eva, darling, you're exposing yourself.
Ah, what are you doing with my portmanteau?
Haven't you come for your luggage?
Certainly not. I haven't checked out of here.
Very few do, but residences are frequently terminated.
Open the door.
Open the letter with a remittance check in it.
In the morning.
Tonight.
Upstairs in my room.
Downstairs at the entrance.
I won't be intimidated.
What?
Wait. Give me some light. Thank you. What does it say?
Remittances?
Discontinued.
Careful, I have fragile mementos. And so at last it has come, the distinguished thing.
Hey, Dad, vacancy here. A bed at the rich men only. A little white ship to sail the dangerous night in.
Single or double?
There's only singles in this pad.
I match you for it.
Ah, what the hell? We're buddies. We can sleep spoons. And if we can't sleep, push the washstand against the door and sing old popular songs till the track of dawn. Heart of my heart, I love that melody. Bet your life I do. Looks to me like you could use a red cap, and my rates are non-union. Sorry, buddy. Can't make it. The altitude on this block has affected my ticker. And in the distance, which is nearer than further, I hear the street cleaners piping.
Come along.
No. Tonight, I prefer to sleep out under the stars.
I understand, brother.
Bon voyage. I hope that you sail the dangerous night to the sweet golden port of morning.
Thanks, brother.
Excuse the corn. I'm sincere.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
Block 14 on the Camino Real.
Block 14. At opening, the bum is still at the window. The street cleaner's piping continues a little louder. Kilroy climbs, breathing heavily, to the top of the stairs and stands looking out at Tierra Incognita as Marguerite enters the plaza through the alleyway at right. She's accompanied by a silent young man who wears a domino.
Don't come any further with me. I'll have to wake the night porter. Thank you for giving me safe conduct through Medina. Oh, I'm not sure which is more provocative in you, your ominous silence or your glittering smile, or what do you want? Oh! Well, what else do you have that I want? What else do I have that you want?
Nothing.
Lonely.
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 Jacques!
Lady,
What?
I'm safe.
I wasn't expecting that music tonight, were you?
It's them street cleaners.
I know.
Now you better go in, lady.
No.
Go on in.
No! I want to stay out here and I do what I want to do. Sit down with me, please.
You know, they're coming for me. The gypsy told me I'm on top of their list. Thanks for taking my hand.
Thanks for taking mine.
Do me one more favor. Take out of my pocket a picture. My fingers are stiff.
This one?
My one true woman.
A silver frame photo. Was she really so fair?
She was so fair, and much fairer than you can tint that picture.
Then you have been on the street when the street was royal.
Yeah. When the street was royal.
Don't get up, don't leave me.
You know, I want to be on my feet when the street cleaners come for me.
Now sit back down again. Tell me about your girl.
You know what it is? you miss most when you're separated from someone you lived with and loved? It's waking up in the night with that warmness beside you.
Yeah, that warmness beside you.
Once you get used to that warmness, it's a hell of a lonely feeling to wake up without it. Especially in some $1-a-night hotel run on skid. Hot water bottle won't do it, and a stranger won't do it. Has to be someone you're used to, and that loves you. Can you see them?
I see no one but you.
I looked at my wife one night when she was sleeping, and that was the night that the medics wouldn't okay me for no more fights. Well, my wife was sleeping with a smile like a child's. I kissed her. She didn't wake up. I took a pencil and paper, and I wrote her goodbye.
That was the night she would have loved you the most.
Yeah, that night. What about after that night? Oh, lady. Why should a beautiful girl tie up with a broken down champ? The earth's still turning and her obliged to turn with it? Not out of dark into light, but out of light into dark. Nah. Washed up. Finished. That ain't a word that a man can't look at. There ain't no words in the language a man can't look at and know just what they mean and be and act and go. Come on, you sons of bitches. Kilroy is here. He's ready.
A gong sounds. Kilroy swings at the street cleaners. They circle about him, out of reach, turning him by each of their movements. The swings grow wilder like a boxer. He falls to his knees, still swinging, and finally collapses flat on his face. The street cleaners pounce, but La Madrecita throws herself protectingly over the body and covers it with her shawl. Blackout.
Jacques!
Block 15 on the Camino Real.
Block 15. La Madrecita is seated. Across her knees is the body of Kilroy. Up center, a low table on wheels bears a sheeted figure. Beside the table stands a medical instructor addressing students and nurses, all in white surgical outfits. Instructor, anybody?
This is the body of an unidentified vagrant.
This was thy son, America, and now mine.
He was found in an alley along the Camino Real.
Think of him now as he
He was found in an alley along the Camino Real.
Think of him now as he was before his luck failed him. Remember his time of greatness when he was not faded, not frightened.
More light, please.
More light.
More light, please.
More light.
Can everyone see clearly?
Everyone must see clearly.
There is no external evidence of disease.
He had clear eyes and the body of a champion boxer.
There are no marks of violence on the body.
No marks of violence on the body.
He had the soft voice of the South and a pair of golden gloves.
His death was apparently due to natural causes.
Yes, blow wind where night thins. He had many admirers.
There are no legal claimants.
He stood as a planet among the moons of their longing, haughty with youth, a champion of the prize ring.
No friends or relatives having identified him.
You should have seen the lovely monogrammed robe in which he strode the aisles of the Colosseums.
After the elapse of a certain number of days, his body becomes the property of the state.
Yes, blow wind where night thins, for laurel is not everlasting.
and now is transformed into our hands for the nominal sum of $5.
This was thy son, and now mine.
We will now proceed with the dissection. Knife, please.
Blow, wind. Yes, blow where night thins. You are his passing bell and his lamentation. Keen for him all maimed creatures, deformed and mutilated. His homeless ghost is your own.
First, we will open up the chest cavity and examine the heart for evidence of coronary occlusion.
His heart was pure gold and as big as the head of a baby.
We will make an incision along the vertical line.
Rise, ghost. Go, go, bird. Humankind cannot bear very much reality.
Ole, ole,
Ole!
Hey, hey, somebody! Where am I?
Look at his heart. It's as big as the head of a baby.
My heart?
Wash it off so we can look for the pathological lesions.
Yes, sirree. That's my heart.
Block 16.
Kilroy pauses just outside of the dissection area as a student takes the heart and dips it into a basin on the stand beside the table. The student suddenly cries out and holds aloft a glittering golden sphere.
Look, this heart's solid gold.
That's mine, you bastards!
He snatches the golden sphere from the medical instructor. The autopsy proceeds as if nothing had happened as the spot of light on the table fades out. But for Kilroy, a ghostly chase commences, a dreamlike reenactment of the chase that occurred at the end of Block 6. Gutman shouts from his balcony.
Stop thief! Stop corpse! That gold heart is the property of the state. Catch him. Catch the golden heart robber.
Kilroy dashes off stage into an aisle of the theater. There is the wail of a siren. The air is filled with calls and whistles, a roar of motors, screeching brakes, pistol shots, thundering footsteps. The dimness of the auditorium is transected by searching rays of light, but there are no visible pursuers.
This is my heart. It don't belong to no state, not even the USA. Which way is out? Where's the Greyhound Depot? Nobody's going to put my heart in a bottle in a museum and charge admission to support the rotten police. Where are they? Which way are they going? Or coming? Hey, somebody, help me get out of here. Which way do I go? Go! Gee, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I'm all turned around. I'm confused. I don't understand what's happened. It's like a dream. It's just like a dream. Mary, oh, Mary. Mary, help a Christian. Help a Christian, Mary. It's like a dream.
Betty, bye, darling. It's sleepy time down south and up north, too, and also east and west.
Yes, it's like a dream.
Drink your Ovaltine, ducks, and the Sandman will come on tiptoe with a bag full of dreams.
Sorry. I want to dream of the chosen hero, Mummy.
Which one? The one that's coming or the one that is gone?
The only one. Kilroy. He was sincere.
That's right, I was! For a while.
How do you know that Kilroy was sincere?
He said so.
That's the truth, I was!
When did he say that?
When he lifted my veil.
Baby, they're always sincere when they lift your veil. It's one of those natural reflexes that don't mean a thing.
Wow, what a cynical old bitch that Mama Gypsy is.
And there's going to be lots of other fiestas for you, baby doll, and lots of other chosen heroes to lift your little veil when Mamacita and Nursey are out of the room.
No, Mommy, never. I mean it.
I believe she means it.
Finish your Ovaltine and say you're now I lay me.
Had one true woman, which I can't go back to, but now I'm found another.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
God bless Mummy.
And the crystal ball and the tea leaves.
Psst.
What's that?
A tomcat in the plaza.
God bless all the cats without pads in the plaza tonight.
Amen.
God bless all con men and hustlers and pitchmen who hawk their hearts on the street, all two-time losers who are likely to lose once more, the courtesan who made the mistake of love, the greatest of lovers crowned with the longest horns, the poet who wandered far from his heart's green country and possibly will and possibly won't be able to find his way back, look back with a smile tonight on the last cavaliers, the ones with the rusty armor and soiled white plumes, and visit with understanding in something that's almost tender, those fading legends that come and go in the plaza like songs not clearly remembered. And oh, sometime and somewhere, let there be something to mean the word honor again.
Amen.
Amen.
That will do now.
And oh God, let me dream tonight of the chosen hero.
Now sleep. Fly away on the magic carpet of dreams.
Esmeralda, my little gypsy sweetheart.
Go away, cat.
This is no cat. This is the chosen hero of the big fiesta. Kilroy, the champion of the golden gloves with his gold heart cut from his chest and in his hands to give you.
Go away. Let me dream of the chosen hero.
What a hassle. Mistook for a cat. What can I do to convince this doll I'm real? Another transaction seems to be indicated. My heart is gold. What will you give me for it? Doll, behold this loot. I gave my golden heart for it.
Go away.
She falls asleep. Kilroy bangs his forehead with his fist, then rushes to the gypsy's door, pounds on it with both fists. The door is thrown open, and the sordid contents of a large jar are thrown at him. He falls back, gasping, spluttering, retching. He retreats and finally assumes an exaggerated attitude of despair.
Ad for a button. Stewed, screwed, and tattooed on the Camino Real. Baptized, finally, with the contents of a slop jar. Did anybody say the deal was rigged?
Why, the old knight's awake. His dream is over.
Hello? Is this a fountain?
Yeah, but...
I've got a mouthful of old chicken feathers.
He approaches the fountain. It begins to flow. Kilroy falls back in amazement as the old knight rinses his mouth and drinks and removes his jacket to bathe, handing the tattered garment to Kilroy.
Que pasa, mi amigo?
The deal is rugged. You know what I mean?
Who knows better than I what a rugged deal is? Now, would you take some advice?
Brother, at this point on the Camino, I will take anything which is offered.
Don't pity yourself.
He takes out a pocket mirror and grooms his beard and mustache.
The wounds of the vanity, the many offenses our egos have to endure, being housed in bodies that age and hearts that grow tired, are better accepted with a tolerant smile. Like this. You see?
Bald spot on the face of the ancient knight.
Otherwise, what you become is a bag full of curdled cream.
Lechimala, we call it. Attractive to nobody, least of all to yourself. Have you got any plans?
Well, I was thinking of going on from here.
Good. Come with me.
Crazy old bastard. Donde?
Quien sabe?
Hey!
The fountain is now flowing loudly and sweetly. The street people are moving toward it with murmurs of wonder. Marguerite comes out upon the terrace.
Hey, there's...
Listen.
Abdullah.
Mademoiselle, allow me to deliver the message for you. It would be in bad form if I didn't take some final part in the pageant.
He crosses the plaza to the opposite facade and shouts Casanova under the window of the Ritz men only. Meanwhile, Kilroy scratches out the verb is and prints the correction was in the inscription on the ancient wall.
Casanova, great lover and king of cuckolds, on the Camino Real. The last of your ladies has guaranteed your tabs and is expecting you for breakfast on the terrace.
Casanova looks first out of the practical window of the flop house, then emerges from its scabrous doorway, haggard, unshaven, crumpled in dress, but bearing himself as erectly as ever. He blinks and glares fiercely into the brilliant morning light. Marguerite cannot return his look. She averts her face with a look for which anguish would not be too strong a term. But at the same time, she extends a pleading hand toward him. After some hesitation, he begins to move toward her, striking the pavement in measured cadence with his cane, glancing once as he crosses out at the audience with a wry smile that makes admissions that would be embarrassing to a vainer man than Casanova now is. When he reaches Marguerite, she gropes for his hand, seizes it with a low cry, and presses it spasmodically to her lips, while he draws her into his arms and looks above her sobbing, dyed golden head with the serene, clouded gaze of someone mortally ill as the mercy of a narcotic laps over his pain. Quixote raises his lance in a formal gesture and cries out hoarsely, powerfully from the stairs.
The violets in the mountains have broken the rocks.
The curtain line has been spoken. Bring it down.
He bows with the fat man's grace as the curtain falls. All right.
Bravo!
Now I have to figure out what this means.
This is a weird fucking play, huh?
Yeah.
It's strange, but it also was probably Tennessee's favorite of his own plays.
Really?
It really was Tennessee's here?
He first wrote it as a play, as a one act entitled 9 Blocks on the Camino Real, and sent it to his agent, Audrey Wood. And she sent it back to him with a little note that said, "Please put this in your desk and never show it to anyone." If you note at the beginning of the play, when Sancho Panza comes across that sign, that's where the pronunciation is determined. It is meant to read, "You are leaving the Camino Real and entering the Camino Real." And
Okay.
that's what that has always meant. It's an odd play, but there's some just gorgeous writing in it.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Just
writing.
some-
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Anyway.
It flows. It flows.
Yeah, I mean, Al Pacino played Kilroy at one point. Martin Sheen played Kilroy at one point.
Eli Wallach.
Eli Wallach played in the original when it was a
Really?
one act.
Ethan
and,
Hawkins.
which was one act was 10 blocks on the Camino Real.
He just kept adding blocks.
Yeah, he did. Again, originally it was a one act, and he expanded it full length.
It's great to know the history.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Thanks.
This was fun.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Marilyn.
It's really fun. Have a good night, everyone.
Are we doing Rocky at midnight or?
We are doing Rocky Horror at midnight.
Tonight?
Tonight.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Bye, guys.
Night, Maria Lana.
Good night, Ted. Good night,
Good night.
Larry.
Good
Good night, Bernie. Good night, Maria Elena.
Amy, Doris.